Welcome to Bold Talk series where creativity, leadership, ideas, and innovation come together. My name is Ludvik, and today I have a privilege to have a short one-on-one conversation with Jorge Galvarro, founder and CEO of Galvarro Watches. Jorge, great seeing you. Welcome to our Bold Talk series. How are you?
Thank you, Ludvik. Very good. Thank you. Very nice to be here and to see you again. Yes.
Oh, fantastic, Jorge. Great seeing you, and always a bold man. Talking
Mhm.
about watches is the first time that I had an opportunity to have someone in our Bold Talk series talking about the watches. So, before we get to the all the question and conversation, can you tell us about the inspiration behind the Galvarro watches and what motivated you to start the company?
Yeah. Well, actually, I was looking for a watch that was sober, that didn't take the attention from myself and what I'm saying. I work with a lobby since many years and still working with that, developing legislations about autonomous vehicles, electrifying the society with electrical trucks and infrastructure, working with general safety regulations for all vehicle kinds. So always talking to politicians and civil servants from all the world, I realized that it's my voice and me that I need to focus, of course, on the message. And in this sense, I wanted to have a companion which will not take the a scene. So I was looking for a sober watch, robust, dark, and I didn't find it. I was looking quite a while, and then at the end I decided to make one. I am engineer as in vehicle engineering, as master degree in vehicle engineering. So I do not believe everything is possible and nothing is impossible. So it's a question of time, knowledge, and dedication. So I started the idea. It came to me and didn't leave me. So I give it a shot, and I said, all right, let's do it and see what it takes. And it started 5 years ago, and now we have a company running for 2 years, and the first watch was delivered for 8 months ago. So we have a limited series, and I can talk more about that. But was the essence was to have something different that will be for somebody who is confident in itself and
Nice.
don't need to have yeah.
Well, that's bold, given the fact that you never done any work in the watch industry, right? And so you,
Yeah, exactly. I think it is start always when the idea comes and don't leave you, and then you need to actually follow that. That is the bold thing of it.
Hmm.
When you follow your instincts and you're confident in yourself that you will manage to make something out of it. And in this case, well, as engineer, I understand the basics of the drawings, the materials, the production methods, the supplier contacts, and the distribution network, and so on. So the basics were there, but was the watch industry is a special one in this case also, and many I see are copying the mainstream. No, they are copying the big brands.
hmm.
So what I wanted from the beginning was to do something that it will be look different, it will feel different, and the desire I have to have a watch that will be representing the values of the kind of work that I've been
Yeah.
doing. Yeah,
So
and
Jorge,
Hmm?
so talking about the obviously you mentioned uh, there's kind of a trend that they keep following these big brands. You have these tech type of watches like that,
Hmm.
Apple Watch and all these other watches. Now, you're in a different category altogether. It's more like craftsmanship type of watchmaking. How and what challenge do you see in balancing between technological advancements that, for example, the market is looking for and maintaining still this traditional craftsmanship in watchmaking?
Yeah, Very interesting question. I was recently visiting a museum of very old watches. And even though hundreds of years ago, the watchmaking was art and was a lot of value put in it. And it was decorative for the house, it was representative for your status, even then. And now we have it compromised, compressed, we can say, in your wrist. All this history, all this emblematic. The values and in the history that it could represent, that is uh, developed in your hands for you. In this case, that is what the automatic watches can give you. Uh, the new electronic watches, this is an extended of the mobile phone. It's an extension of the computer or the mobile phone, which are very practical, but they are not giving you more than that. No, the practicality, you need it and then you have to charge it. But I wanted to develop something that it is timeless, in this sense that you can have it your whole life. You don't need to charge it more than doing like this, and then you can leave it to the next generation, and then could be uh, in a museum probably in 100 years. Like I saw some pieces recently that are more than 200-300 years old. So it's two different worlds. No, the electronics are now here and they tomorrow are gone. Something is replacing them, but these are timeless, and that is the idea I had with me to do something that will exist and survive me. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's these tech watches. Obviously, the as you mentioned, they're just an extension, but they don't truly represent anything else except like giving you those alerts
Mhm.
and probably seeing like a messages, whatever it is. And in this case, yeah, and also like a watchmaking in terms of a craftsmanship type of a watches. There's I know a few people who truly they use a part of a collection as a part of it, and they use this collection for a generation perhaps. So
Yeah,
this is something that like it was just can give you that type of a level of confidence in the history that you can look back and you can wear it, and so it's really um, it's
yeah,
really interesting and very unique in the environment we're in, because right now the way how I see it is you have these two markets. You have one market that truly looking for just this kind of extension type of a watches, and there's this market that's still hardcore. How much of this market do you see, and do you see this generation, this new generation, are they still looking for these type of watches, or give us an understanding in terms of the market? Where's the market today?
well, actually what I see is that people is using both, no, during the day, probably um, they have this extension of the telephone. During the special events, they want to have the classic automatic watch on the wrist, and with the family, with the friends, and special occasions. And I see the other, of course, positive side. Many young persons are looking also at the brand. Actually, they are following us, and they expect to be our customers in the future, where the economic situation allows them. And so I don't see that there is uh, conflict here. We can say that for us men, this is the probably the only thing we can put on, and this is why it's so important to have something that really is our takes our attention and appealing. And if you have well, I have two telephones, for example. So if I will have one more telephone in my wrist, it will be too
Yeah.
much visual noise, because the watch design is also very clean, very simple. I was in the intention was to have no stress when you look at your watch. No many rings, no many numbers. And of course, if you have an electronic device which is telling you information live, also will stress you. So in this world, for me, in that case, I think this is a piece of heaven where
Right.
you can uh, peace your mind. And the values also, I was also thinking about values, like the telephone every 2 years you can change. These new devices also, we can call them watches also, that are electronic, you after 2 3 years you also will uh, change and update them. And but the values are not there. Now in this case, the brand Galvarro has a logo, and this logo comes from Count from Spain that moved to South America for 270 years ago approximately. And the values that he represented are live in the watch. No, they are now in the watch. It's sobriety, chivalry, strength, and these values are the ones that I want to go forward with. No? Because we live in a culture where we probably are losing elegance, we are losing strength, we are losing the sobriety and the chivalry, and these values are the ones that I want to put forward with the
Yeah.
watch.
Well, I'm with you on that. The only thing that I see is that there is there is masses of people that are pretty much following this idea of getting the newest and the latest and whatever that is, and so for me, I see that as the not as a good sign because how much of the newest and the latest you can get, and so having a piece that can represent history, can
Mm.
represent the art craftsmanship is something that not many people I see a value today, especially like a younger generation, that I see it. Now,
Mm.
in terms of your customers, what role do your customers play when you approach the innovation while you are uh, building these watches? Like, how are you engaging them? Are you seeing them as a part of the innovation process? Give us an idea in terms of how you approach these craftsmanship building.
Yeah, actually, since the watch was is intended for those who don't need to prove themselves, so most of our customers are men that are in the 50, 60 years old. Some of them are retired already. They already have the Rolex. They already have the expensive watches, but they want something that it's more sober, and that it's more robust in that sense. And they are choosing Galvarro. It also fits with the type of cars. They always have also a love for fast cars, and the watch was inspired with the design also for fast cars, and the colors are also coded the same code, the color codes that we have in some of the fast cars that are well known. So the variants of the watches are also following the codes of these different cars brands. And the customers more or less already defined the watch when they use it in a robust way, and also with the love for cars.
Interesting.
And yeah, and the new watch we are developing, well, the new variant, it is actually one of the customer who is behind the desires of the details and so on, and the colors that are now trending. So yeah, we are in iteration. There are always good ideas coming from the customer when they have the watch. They love the watch, always good feedback, and they also have a little bit of for the future ideas. Yeah.
Hmm. Now, what excites you most about the future of the watch industry that you're in, that you see the latest talking about the craftsmanship watches?
Well, I think in the future, probably right now we have the trend that is going to see the whole watch through, skeleton watches, we call them, and also to have more exact accuracy in the watches. And in this sense, we have a very accurate watch already, Delta 10, which is maximum 2 seconds deviation per 24 hours. And in average. And the tendency is that, as I see, is to put more effort in new materials also. So, for example, we have a CDLC, which is difficult to scratch, is if we can say it, double as hard as steel. And with CDLC, it is even more hard than that. And we are going coming with something even harder, which is just because it is going to be black coating with
Hmm.
carbon light with CDLC. But then the trend I see that is also very conservative branch, the watch industry. Um, we have the Swiss brands that have normally, you see the models look the same since several years ago, and they do a small variations on them. But I think the trend now will be for the newcomers, like my brand, to set the future trends, because I think the new generation is like the James Bond's film. It's now the born identity generation that we have here, and not the James Bond. So it's
Nice.
a little bit more bold, we can
Well,
say.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, the when you are trying and building new things, that comes with trying different variations and coming up with a great product. Uh, what is your approach to failure when you try new things?
Failure, you mean?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yes.
Hmm. My approach to failure is that it's coming for something better every time. We can say that deviations are good if you know how to use them in a positive way. So every deviation, you have to do a lesson learned after that, and then you will improve your process. And so, in that sense, failure is an opportunity to improve. And that is my approach. Every time we have a setback, I sit and I wait and I see the results, and the results are better than the initial intention. So I see failure as an opportunity. Of
I like
course, I don't like a lot of opportunities. I don't like many failures. However, you have to see it this way. You can approach it that way, and then you get even a better product. Yeah.
so a failure is an opportunity to a new challenge.
The failure is an opportunity for a new opening and solution for the problem that is better than the one you thought at the beginning. Mhm.
Love that. Now, what does a word bold mean to you, Jorge?
Bold means to follow your instinct based on knowledge and with a reality check, but always stretching it to the sense that you will that you will follow the idea that you have. So bold is to go with your machete in the jungle and open the road. If you haven't done that before in your life, I recommend everybody go and do it. It's a great feeling. You will see that at the end you come to the place that you feel, here I can put my hand and rest for the night. Bold is to follow your instincts and the idea you have, and
And with
it's not
that,
leaving you.
always be bold, Jorge. Congrats on getting your a great product out there in the market. Hope that people that watch this, they'll get to experience the piece of history and a piece of a craftsmanship that you have built with Galvarro watches. Thank you for joining me in this bold talk series, and
Thank
look
you.
forward to seeing you again soon. Until next time, take care, be great, and be bold always.
You too. Thank you, Ludwig. Nice to talk to you.